Hello. In this video, I want to go through and actually share with you my journey on how I've gone from $0 to over 10,000 per month in my VA business. Now, it is just an overview, but I will sort of explain a few things as I go, and I'll give you some tips at the end on what I would do if I was starting again. So, if we think back to 2017, my kids then were about 3 and 4. So they were still at childcare, but they were coming to the end of that childcare era. And so I was hating it that they were at childcare all day while I was at work. So I really wanted to spend more time with my kids. I hated dropping them off each day at childcare and then driving all the way to work. And I was always thinking, there must be something better. There must be something I could do. So I'm spending more time with them. I really hate not just the commute, but I hated my job too. I wasn't enjoying it. I was finding it boring. And so I just wanted to get out and do something different. So I was looking online at things that I could possibly do. Um, and then I took my kids to an event and I seen a face painter and it looked like fun. So I thought, what could I do? Could I do this? Could I become a face painter or do something similar? And so I talked to the face painter and I ended up booking in with her for a lesson. And like I had always painted canvases and things like that before. So painting wasn't an issue. It was the business side that I just wanted to figure out. So we went through some different techniques and brush strokes and things like that. And we went through the business side as well. And so I ended up starting my own face painting business. At first, I was just sort of doing it for free at like other kids' birthday parties and things that my kids were going to, because at that age, there's a lot of them. And so, as my skills got better as a face painter and I was confident in my skills as a face painter, which was probably maybe over a few months, and I was practicing as well on like big canvases and things like that at home. So I was practicing different techniques and things and getting different designs down pat. And so then I thought, okay, I'm going to reach out to some businesses and see if I can, you know, do something here. So I ended up reaching out to a few hotels and things like local businesses that I thought would have a lot of kids there that might need entertaining while the parents are having meals or having a drink, etc. So that's sort of where I started with that. And I ended up securing um, one hotel where I did a Friday night and a Sunday painting service for a couple of hours each day on those days. And face painters are paid quite well. So I was easily bringing in more than I was in my job from painting those 4 hours on a weekend. And so, because when I was working, I was also paying for childcare, petrol, running costs on your vehicle, etc. So now we could take, all of that out and I wouldn't have to pay that because I was just earning this money and it was local to me. So it wasn't far to go. So I was still working my job at this stage, still hating it. And then my dad got sick. And so my dad was diagnosed with bowel cancer and he passed away, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks after he was diagnosed. The only symptom that he had was that he had trouble swallowing. So it was all a bit of a surprise, and he was gone before we even got our heads around it. And so when I was working, I had only ever worked for two businesses really since I left school. And those two businesses that I worked at, I had worked my way up from reception and gone through all the different areas in the business pretty much. So my last two roles were as a quality assurance manager in one company and as a customer service manager in the other. So the role that I was at when my dad passed away was I was working as a customer service manager, and in that role my job was to send people flowers and gifts and things like that. So I basically resolved all issues, any complaints, and I also sent flowers to anyone in the business that had something bad happen. I always sent flowers or gifts to them or their families. And so when my dad passed away and my work did nothing for me, I took that very personally, probably because I was grieving. I was not happy at all. And so that was sort of like what tipped me over the edge and made me want to leave even more. So I ended up quitting, and I ended up um, reaching out to more venues to just secure some more extra work on a weekend. And I was quickly fully booked every weekend. So I had 3 set venue gigs every weekend on a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And I had set hours that I did at those venues. And then I also had birthday parties, um, baby showers, etc., that I would go and face paint at. And then I also started taking on maternity belly paintings as well. And so I was doing all of that mainly on the weekends. The maternity paintings I was able to do during the week, but everything else was on a weekend. So when my kids started going to school, this didn't work very well because they were home on the weekend and I wasn't. And I was home during the week and they were at school. So it wasn't working very well for me then. So that's when I decided I needed to pivot a little bit. Now, at this point, um, I did have a phone call from the managing director of where I used to work. Now, he was based in a different state, and I think he was quite shocked whenever I left because um, I knew that he thought quite highly of me and we had got along quite well. And so he offered me a remote job working for them. And so I explained to him that I wanted to be a virtual assistant and I was going to run my own business from home. And so I actually took them on as my first client. Now, I don't often talk about them as being my first client because I didn't go out of my way to get them. They just sort of fell in my lap from, background. And that to me is a sign that people think highly of you. So I was working for them, helping them with systems and customer service management. And so I was working for them, I'm going to say about 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I dropped my face painting. I quit doing that altogether, and I focused on helping them because this was now my VA business, and we had agreed on an hourly rate for that. And then I decided that I wanted to get other clients and build this. So what I did was I thought about what it was that I was good at when I was running my face painting business. What skills did I pick up whenever I was running this business that I could turn into services to help others? And so, what I decided was that I was good at growing my own following on social media. So, I had grown my own Facebook page, and I had grown my followers, mainly mums and dads, and venues that wanted to book my services. But I was good at networking and getting work that way. And so, what I decided then was okay, I could do this for other people. And so, I did a couple of quick courses on social media management, and I was pretty confident that I could help people to grow their Facebook page. And so, that's the next thing that I offered. So, I started working with 2 different coaches within 30 days of promoting myself as a social media manager. And the only way that I had promoted myself, well, I hadn't even promoted myself. It was just networking. So I was networking in Facebook groups. And when I say I was networking, I was helping people. Like I would go into that group and I would answer so many questions. So if anyone had questions about customer service, if people had questions about email management, if they had questions about social media, anything like that, I was answering anything that I possibly could because I was helping people. And I just figured that if I help a lot of people, people are going to get nosy. Because I know that as a person that we do this. And I knew that when I see people that are really helpful in groups, I'm a sticky beak and I go and look to see who they are and what they do. And so I just thought, well, makes sense. People are going to do this to me as well. So I made sure that my Facebook page was fully updated and it said, what I was doing, etc. But, I optimized that before I started talking to people in these groups. And so I just started in these business groups and I'd go in every day and I'd comment on things. And so within 30 days, I had had two people reach out to me asking for my help to grow their own social media. And both of them I did have discovery calls with. As much as I hate them, I did get on calls with them and I did talk to them about what they needed, etc. And I find discovery calls a waste of time, absolute waste of time. It's something that you could easily cover in an email or in messages. So to me, I just don't like them, but that's just me. So I started working with them as a social media manager. I charged them $500 each per month, and all I did was I created their social media graphics and I scheduled them, and I worked on a little bit of a strategy for them on how to grow their pages, like interacting with other pages, etc. So I did that for them. It took me about a day, a month to do everything that I needed to do for them if I added up all that time. So it wasn't much of a commitment, for these two clients. So that was $1,000 a month coming in from those. So at this point, I was probably earning between my three clients, I was probably earning about 5,000 per month, maybe a bit more. And then I decided that I wasn't enjoying the social media side after a few months. And so I switched what I was doing there. And instead of working with them and doing their social media, I decided that I would start selling done for you social media graphics packs because I didn't like being micromanaged. It's not that I don't like being told what to do, but I probably don't like being told what to do. But I didn't like that my expertise on something wasn't being listened to. I think that's more what it came down to. So I started to really not enjoy working doing social media. And so I ended up doing social media graphics packs and selling those. And then COVID hit. And I'm sure we all know when COVID hit, everything was pretty much wiped out. And so I lost all of my income sources. The company that I used to work for that was now hiring me as a virtual assistant, I couldn't work for them anymore because they were running on a skeleton staff themselves. And so they just couldn't keep me on either. Um, and so at this point, I was like, okay, well, what do you do? What do you do? So I started looking at different ways that I could make money online, and I ended up coming across digital products. And so I started creating and selling digital products on Etsy. And so I grew a store to about $1,000 a month pretty quickly, just using things that were on YouTube and things that I had learnt from in the actual Etsy handbook and stuff like that to build my own storefront and get it, making money. And then in 2021, a friend of mine that I had met while I was networking in all of these different groups, she and her family actually got sick with COVID and she needed help to manage her membership community of around 300 people. So I said I would help her while she focused on getting better and having her family all get better. And I loved it. So when she was feeling better, she asked if I would stay on and help her. So I ended up staying on to help her, and we grew the community to, I think, about 10,000 members all up. There's a few different memberships now. And so I helped her to grow a team. We set up systems, and I pretty much was her online business manager and still am. And just using the skills that I had from my background working in a corporate job anyway. So I currently make about 10 to 13,000 per month working as an online business manager. I also have affiliate income mixed into that because I will share links with clients and contacts. Digital product stores, I still have those on Etsy as well, so they're bringing in money as well. And now I have a membership as well where I'm helping other people to get started. So that's another income stream as well, but I didn't count that in the 10 to 13 thousand per month. But what I really want to share with people is that when you're getting started, just start, take action. It's more about actually taking the steps. It opens doors. Like, I think most people overthink it and they don't get started because they want everything to be perfect first. And the truth is that nothing's ever going to be perfect, and you just have to take action. And you need to make your business something that you actually want. So, all of my pivoting along the way has been because I started to realize I didn't enjoy things. And so I'm all about my business has to be something that I enjoy. I have to be doing something that I enjoy. Otherwise, I could just go back to an office job. So I want something that I can enjoy. And I think that everybody should take that approach when starting your business in the beginning. But what I really think that you should do is focus on your existing skills, because I could have skipped all of these steps and gone straight to making 10 grand a month as an online business manager. But I just didn't know how to put it all together as services and what to charge, etc. So I think that most people get stuck in the same spot and you don't know how to turn what you know into a service and start offering it remotely. And I think it's the remotely part that gets people stumped, because you think, I could do that in an office, but I don't know how to do it at home. And so I just want you to start. You can turn your skills into services that you help people with. So it doesn't matter what your background is. If you have some skills, you can use them. And so I love brainstorming and helping people to turn their skills into services, because I know that we all have so many skills that we don't even think about. We often overlook the life skills that we have, and we don't think about them when we are actually thinking about how we can help people in a business. So, in my part time Virtual Assistant Academy membership, I actually walk people through step by step from the very beginning on how to work out your skills, including your life skills, and then turning those into services that you actually want to offer. And then we go through pricing and we go through everything that we need to set up in your business and then actually get clients. And so I'm a bit of a no fluff person. I don't really waffle too much. I don't like these courses that go on and on and on. I just want the information. And so I find that most people that do well as a virtual assistant are pretty much the same. You just want information that's straight to the point and helps you to get that result. And so I've tried to make my membership like that for everybody. And I've also included in my membership a Notion workspace that sort of walks you through everything so that you're up and running with systems to manage your own business and also manage your clients straight away. I'll drop a link to my membership in the comments and pin it to the top, and I'll also put it in the description as well. So feel free to check it out. Send me a message if you have any questions at all, or drop them in the comments. I'm always happy to help. But yeah, I hope that this has been helpful and you've taken something away from it. Have a fantastic day.